All right, I am now live. Individual questions. Dropbox is a late mover in a crowded space. First question is, what will set them apart from their rivals? I think the basic thing that'll set them apart from their rivals is actually their software. The way that they've done it, it's a little bit different than most, which I guess I'll get into detail later on in some of the other questions as it asks for more detail. What problem does Dropbox solve? It solves a big issue that a lot of companies were having, which was slow download and upload times, and the fact that it bogged down the internet pretty well. This was due to um, the fact that most people, excuse me, most people had the problem of, rather than downloading just a specific piece of software, which this is answering other questions that are coming up. Other people, rather than just updating a small bit of the information updated, they would update the entire thing, the entire file. So if the file was 1 GB big, they would re-upload everything to the servers for the entire 1 GB rather than just the tiny little pieces that had been fixed or changed. There's a good example of how this information or how this new system worked from his 4-minute long video that he used for Y Combinator for his application. What he would do is, rather than the code or rather than the entire file being uploaded and being changed, what he would do is he'd go in there, he would make a change to the file, whether it's a picture, Word document, whatever kind of file it would be. And rather than uploading the entire file and then deleting the previous one, which bogs down the internet because the majority of the bits are being used to download the entire thing, they would only change and upload those changes that happen to the server. So the example he gave in the video was he took a picture, he used the freehand tool to make a smiley face on it, and he showed the code and how when he had updated it to his Dropbox account, the only thing that had changed was the smiley face itself. So what they did is the only thing uploaded was a change to the file. It updated it on the server, and then that was the only thing. And it was a significantly smaller amount of bits that were used rather than updating the entire file. How many people have this problem? It seemed that almost everyone in the industry had that problem. And so, like I said, it had bogged down everybody's internet while they're trying to upload. They couldn't do anything else. And it was a really slow process because at the time, internet really wasn't as high speed as we have today with 1 gig a second and potentially even faster. I already explained what Dropbox does and kind of how to do it. Rather than uploading everything, it was just that. What early hypothesis turned out to be wrong? I think some of the things that they were assuming, some of their hypotheses were incorrect. Thinking that only 1 gig, offering 1 gig free would really attract people. They noticed that other companies had offered 2 gig for free instead of just 1. So that turned out to be wrong, and they ended up bumping that up to 2 GB process. Another hypothesis too was if they worked full time and they worked really hard, then they would have a new, they'd have a version for which they could charge available by, I think it was February, sometime in February the following year. It ended up taking them, I believe, 18 months rather than those 8 months to get a functional version out to the market. What does it mean to pivot? I believe pivoting means to change course. I actually believe this is a good thing. Through my other entrepreneurship courses, I've learned that failure is not a bad thing, and we should actually fail often and fail early. That way we can learn the lessons necessary to move on and to improve our product, improve our business, so we can find long-term success. So these are my personal responses to these questions. Kind of answered them all in just one big long monologue, but appreciate your time watching this video. Thank you.